Welcome, sweet friends, to the channel Frugal Money Saver. My name is Emmy. My husband's Paul, and we are so happy that you have joined us today. Today, we're going to really address how to live a frugal life that is also a content life. When you look up the word content in the dictionary, it means to be happy and to be satisfied. Now, when you look up the word satisfied, it means you don't need more, you have enough. And sometimes on our frugal journey, our eyes wander to other people and their journey, to cars, to houses, to people's vacations, whatever it is. And we tend to compare. We need to remember that things are not always what they seem when it comes to other people's, how much they have, how perfect their life is, what they're doing, how much they're doing. It's not always the case. I want to show you a little demonstration. Look at this beautiful apple. It looks shiny, it looks bright, it looks like it is good enough to eat. And that is how sometimes other people's lives or their frugal journey look to us. But sometimes the truth is, when you turn that life and look at the other end, it looks something like this. I can't take credit for that visual. I saw it on a social media post. What you see is not always what the truth is. People could have tons of credit card debt. People could have a second mortgage on their home. But I think when we look at people's possessions and how much they have, we sometimes can lose track of our frugal journey and the contentment that goes with our frugal journey. So today we're going to embrace the simple blessings and contentment that comes with a true frugal life. Finding the beauty in the everyday is an important part of being content. Looking around at all we have, using what we have, making do with what we have. Paul and I were walking our yard the other day, and I was almost sad that all the leaves are down now and things are pretty brown and dry. Then I said to myself, turn that thought process around. Can you spot something that may not look great right now, but that you can turn into something beautiful? We did. And I think this is a perfect way to show contentment. It's taking what's around you, bringing it close to you, and making it beautiful. Let's get outside with Paul. He's going to do a little trimming, and we're going to take what he trims and make it into something, well, I think was really creative and quite beautiful. One way to really experience contentment is to look around at what you have and make it beautiful. When we were in Lancaster, the last time back in September, I had bought a bouquet from a roadside stand, and these flowers were in it. And what I did was I took a little rubber band, I tied them together, hung them upside down to dry them. And they're beautiful. Look at these. They stayed just so pretty. These are my snowball bushes that have dried up for fall. And at first I looked at these and I was like, Paul, we've got to cut these down. And then I'm like, oh my goodness, these are actually beautiful. They're sturdy. Right now for autumn, the color schemes are browns and oranges. So I thought we could do something with this. I have a simple glass jar that we just embellished with a little twine there. And then we have a ring of twine wrapped around. We're just going to set that on top. These are all things we have in the home. So let's just see what we can do with this bouquet. fun was that? We had it on our table with a brown and white tablecloth. The tablecloth had leaves on it. It was gorgeous. And we had fun. We lived in the moment. We used what we had. And that's what being content is about. We need to figure out what works for us and then build upon that without going and spending extra money all the time. Now, our next segment, we do go out, it is to the Dollar Tree, and we pick up 2 items that we found that I would not have expected to see in the Dollar Tree. And again, it's finding joy in the little things. Let's show you what we bought and what we did with what we bought. The other day we had to run into the Dollar Tree, which is actually the $1.25 tree now. I needed reusable gloves to wash dishes. As most of you know who follow me, I don't have a dishwasher. I love these gloves. They just keep my hands a little bit softer. They were completely out last time we were there, so we bought 3 pair. And then while we were walking in, I saw these 2 items hanging there. And they were pillowcase covers, but they look like they're made out of like a burlap or something. And they were 15 by 15. They look adorable. One was a gingerbread and one was candy cane. So I'm going to unwrap them with you and we'll see if they fit our normal throw pillows that we use for every season. We just recover them. And are they worth $1.25? Because again, finding contentment in the little things. If this worked for $2.50, I have some beautiful pillows to put on our couch for the upcoming holiday season. They said they fit a 15 by 15 inch pillow, and that's pretty much what these were. We had to shove them in a little bit. They look beautiful. Let's zip these up. Zipper works well. Right now, I'm feeling pretty darn good about this purchase. And those of you who follow us know our Christmas tree is always decorated in red and white. These are absolutely beautiful. For $1.25 a piece, I am beyond thrilled. We decided to try them on the settee, and they look phenomenal. Sorry, it was Dixie's rest time, and we didn't want to move her. Say hi, everybody. Oh, my gosh. Look at these pillows, $2.50. If you have some throw pillows that need some covering for the holiday season, I can't recommend these enough. They're absolutely lovely. They're joyful. They look like I spent about $10 to $15 on each of them. The zipper, I was so afraid the zipper wouldn't work right. It was smooth. I mean, for $1.25, sometimes what the Dollar Tree sells can be a delightful surprise. And this was a perfect example. We did not spend a lot of money. Our living room come the holiday season is going to have a little pick-me-up. We are not into buying new holiday decor, a lot of it, but when something like this shows up, I couldn't resist, and it really was such a frugal purchase because they look like they're going to last us for a while. Again, finding joy in the very simple, inexpensive blessings every day. Let's get into the kitchen now, and we are going to make a cozy homemade dessert. It's old-fashioned, and I'm pretty sure you will have almost everything in your pantry and refrigerator to make this easy, economical, yummy, cozy dessert. Let's get into the kitchen. Let's substitute the apple pie this year for this really delicious apple crisp. I am pie crust challenged. I think many of you know that about me. This is a recipe. When people try it, they ask for the recipe. Matter of fact, one of my son's friends was over and he just asked if I would make this for his birthday. That's how good this is. This is 6 apples, and we're going to peel, core them, and slice them thin. We're going to need about 1.5 teaspoons of lemon juice, 2 tablespoons of white sugar, 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon, and no, I promise I won't forget it. And those are your ingredients for the filling. Now for the topping, you're going to need 3/4 cup of old-fashioned oats, 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour, and 1 cup of brown sugar. It calls for a full 1/2 cup of butter, which is 8 tablespoons. I cut it down to 5 tablespoons and it came out perfect. You can use the full 8, of course, but I cut it down a little. First thing we're gonna do is wash, peel, and core these apples. We are using Ginger Crisp apples. I would recommend a firm apple that is a little bit tart. Granny Smith would work wonderfully in this as well. This is our favorite gadget ever. It makes effortless work out of peeling and coring an apple. They come out nice and thin, and then all I do is just cut them in half and add them right to the dish. How perfect is this? And then all I do, cut them down the middle, and you have wonderful little slices for your crisps. All the apple slices are in this bowl. I'm gonna take a little bit of lemon, and I am just gonna squeeze it right over these apples. So the lemon is all mixed in. We're adding our 2 tablespoons of sugar. We're also gonna sprinkle in the 1½ teaspoons of cinnamon. Mix and coat the apples well. I preheated our oven to 350 degrees, and I just greased our 8-inch square pan, and I'm adding the apples right to that. We're going to set this aside for a minute. Now, in the same bowl that we had the apples in, because who needs more dishes, right? I'm going to grate the butter. Make sure it's cold and watch your fingers when it gets low. You can also skip this step and just cream the butter and flour and sugar with a fork. I'm adding my 3/4 cup of flour, the cup of brown sugar, and then our oats as well. Now, the best kitchen tool you have is your hands. And I am just going to mix this all together. Make sure that butter is crumbled in. And then we're also going to add another teaspoon of cinnamon. Mix this up well. And then once that's done, and it's all crumbly, we are gonna put it over the top of these apples. And what it's gonna do is fall in between as well. Honestly, once you taste this with either vanilla ice cream or a little whipped cream, nobody's gonna be wanting apple pie. Mark my word. Our oven is preheated to 350 degrees. We are going to put this in for about 40 to 50 minutes until the apples are tender and the top looks all nice and crunchy. Again, you want to bake some potatoes while you're doing this. You're making something else that you can put in at the same time. Great way not to waste oven heat. So we'll see you in a few minutes. This cooked for 45 minutes. If you could smell the house, it smells like the holidays. Now we are just going to let this sit. We're going to let it cool, and then we'll dish it up with a little homemade whipped cream. Look how beautifully the top browned. Yeah, this is going to be phenomenal. While the crisp is cooling, I'm going to make some homemade whipped cream. This is an amazing shelf-stable whipping cream from Trader Joe's. It only comes out at the holiday season. They are amazing to have on hand. I just empty the container into my stand mixer. The only thing I will tell you is this has got to be cold for it to whip. They can stay in your pantry on the shelf, but when you want to use it for whipping cream, put it in the refrigerator at least 8 hours before you're going to use it. So this is only soft peaks right now. We need it a little bit firmer, but I am going to add about a tablespoon of powdered sugar to this, and I'm going to add a drop of vanilla. Now you don't have to add anything. The whipped cream by itself is perfect, but this just makes it a little more special. Now I'm going to continue whipping it until stiff peaks. Now that's whipped cream. Refrigerate any unused portion.
Know you've been a good friend, and that's in the thick and thin, and I know it's never gonna end.
And the apples are soft It's moist and not dried out. Just delicious. Now let's give it a dollop of whipped cream. And just to make it beautiful.
Okay, we're gonna try out this homemade apple crisp. Man, this kitchen smells wonderful. Actually, the whole house does. It's incredible. I don't know how it gets upstairs. It's really good. It smells great. Let's try this out. The apples are tender. The oats have softened slightly, so it's got a nice texture. The cinnamon, the flavor, and the whipped cream. Wow. The whole thing just comes together. Just a delicious warm treat. This is absolutely fantastic. I definitely give this a Paul approve. You got to do this. You got to make this. It's very simple. And it didn't take much time at all. Absolutely delicious.
Now, you could have used vanilla ice cream instead of the whipped cream. We hope you give that recipe a try. I will link the original recipe down below. As we continue on our frugal journey, we need to find ways that make us feel content, that we are not deprived of anything. And by keeping our eyes on what we already have is such a great way to feel like you have so much. Just look around your room. Go into the next room and look around. See all your belongings. What can you take from one room and put into another room and make it beautiful? What can you make for dinner that you already have within the home? So many times creativity plays a part in our contentment as well. We hope this video was encouraging and helpful. Question of the day: how do you find contentment on your frugal journey? Being thankful for everything we have and looking around at all we have pretty much sums it up for Paul and I. Please share that with us down below, because it won't only encourage us, but our viewers as well. We thank you so much again for being here. We ask that you would just take a second, hit that thumbs up button, please. It helps us so much here on YouTube. Subscribe if you haven't. If you like videos about frugal living, old-fashioned living, from scratch cooking, this is your place. Hit that subscribe button and be a part of our family. We ask you to be well. We ask you to be safe. And above all, we wish you blessings. Until our next video, may God greatly bless you.